2.
Sweet! Hi, welcome to JD Sports. I'm Jarrett Hood. That's Dwight Garfield.
What up?
Thank you for joining us. It's been a long season, but we made it. We're here to the postseason. Wild card round is upon us. We will get to that. Decent amount of things to get into. It's a pretty loaded show today. If I do say so.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on this week, man.
Well, if you want to jump into it, the best game of the weekend was probably the Jets-Bills game because of what was on the line, and then the Jets collapse.
Crumbled completely.
Didn't make the adjustments to help Revis out. I know you want to go out because you gave him the money, but at the same time he's a little injured. I might help him out a little bit. Sammy Watkins had a big day, 130 yards. You can't let that happen. It was on Revis. I know you want to go down. You paying him that money, and at the end of the season, if they would have told you in week 1, all you got to do is beat the Bills in week 17 to get to the playoffs, and you're saying Revis is on Sammy Watkins. You trust him to win that game, but at the same time, he was a little dinged up from the weeks before. He probably rushed himself back because it's such an important game. Help him out a little bit. He was getting burned left and right. Very un-Darrell Revis-like.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Ryan Fitzpatrick throws some interceptions. The people talk about the play callings and this and the next thing. At the end of the day, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he had his moments, but he is still Ryan Fitzpatrick, and this is sometimes what you get from him. And at that moment, in that situation, he couldn't turn the ball over, and he did twice with the game on the line, and now your season's over. That was the best Jets offense in the history of the Jets franchise, though. So that's something to be told.
Absolutely.
And,
at the end of the day, I mean, like you said, it's still Ryan Fitzpatrick. As great of years he's had, I don't know if it seemed like it was a career year for him.
For him and the whole offense.
Right. He put up terrific numbers. The Jets put up great offensively, great numbers offensively, but at the end of the day, he's still Ryan Fitzpatrick. At the end of the day, they're still the Jets, and they just somehow, some way found a way to lose it. And that's actually what on
the flip side, when you talked about it last week, what did I say? That Rex Ryan and the Bills, they were going to be so hungry for that because Rex Ryan wanted it so bad.
How good did that feel for him?
It has to be. He's the first coach in the history of the NFL to beat the team that he coached the year before twice in a season. He did it by the same score. Both games. It's just so many different feats. He's the first coach in NFL history to beat a team on the last week of the season. The team he coached prior to not let them in the play. I mean, there's so much. Somebody said a good quote. If you didn't see Rex Ryan out on Sunday night, that means you probably didn't go out on Sunday night because he probably did go everywhere and get drunk. Good for him though. Got to build towards though because that's a tough division. He was so close. He held the Jets out. He didn't let the Jets take that step forward that he was trying to make the Bills take that step forward with.
Right.
So he can celebrate that fact, but now he needs to go back. He needs to figure out his way now to beat the team in front of him, who the Patriots, we'll get into it, was collapsing a little bit. But on the flip side of the Jets, before we move on to anything further, with them losing, the Steelers had to win. Browns, Johnny Manziel got into a huge clash. Johnny Manziel was in Vegas this weekend, reportedly maybe in a wig, calling himself by a different name. Anyways, didn't report Sunday
morning.
morning.
Who's buying shots, Manziel, with his blonde?
Didn't report Sunday morning because him and I guess the ownership or the coaching staff, I don't know, something happened.
Should I just call him Shirley Temple? Shirley Manziel?
What's going to happen for the future?
Oh my God. I don't know,
of Johnny Manziel, because he has talent, but nobody should take him. I like Johnny Manziel. I wouldn't take him as a GM, as an owner. I wouldn't take him. I don't care. There's no excuse for him to not be a professional about it in the last week, and that's so sad because he has the talent
for the past.
There's so many things that I'm not against him doing for a lot of the things. This, to me, is over a line. This, to me, is that's it.
He hasn't proven anything football-wise. He's just been a complete
the last 2-3 weeks he's played well.
He's been a handful. That's all he's been. And there's word that the Cowboys want him. I am going to lose my shit if the Cowboys get him because I didn't want him before he was drafted. I don't want him now, especially that
we don't have time to get into him, and we'll talk about him.
I got time to say that I don't want Johnny Manziel, and Johnny Manziel needs to get his shit together.
Fair enough. I understand. I agree. I get it.
We'll get into Johnny Manziel, I'm sure, at a later date. But Pittsburgh did exactly what they were supposed to do. They got the win. Good for them. That's exactly what I said they were going to do. And they're in the postseason. Congratulations. Now they're a legitimate threat. But Johnny Manziel, I mean, my man, get it. Like, at what point are we going to stop At what point are we going to say, damn it, Johnny, you need some help? Damn the football, get some help, brother. Because I don't know whether he was in Vegas or not. Reports are saying, what did Cat Williams say? Whitney done smoked her kneecaps off, but we're still saying, nah. Eventually, people keep saying the same thing about you year after year after year. Eventually, it's going to stick, and eventually, we're going to say, damn it, Johnny's got a problem. And eventually, Johnny needs to realize that and get together. I'm just saying.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not against any of this.
You'll get more into where Johnny's going, what's going to happen.
Back to the Steelers. Are they the most dangerous 6 seed since the Steelers won Super Bowl 40 as a 6 seed?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're legitimate. There's no reason to argue against them at this rate. Honestly.
Outside of playing the Ravens, because they lost the Ravens twice this year, outside of playing the Ravens, they've been extremely impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Their offense has been phenomenal. Their defense, I still don't believe in anything of them, especially in their secondary. But I mean,
you can go
offensively, Big Ben's on this level that he doesn't need his defense.
The biggest reason that they had the best chance, though,
is
because look at the number 1 and number 2 seed. Look at how the number 1 seed got the number 1 seed, because the number 2 seed couldn't clinch it 2 weeks in a row against teams that they probably shouldn't beat. Definitely this week should have went down to Miami and should have beat them. Denver, though, got the win, brought Peyton back in. How do you feel about that?
I feel exactly how I've been feeling, which is that Peyton Manning has that experience, and you
Does he start 2 weeks from now?
Obviously, you have to go with that experience, and I said it. I've been saying it for several weeks now that we brought this story up, is that Peyton Manning has the experience. You got to go with that. You can't go with this young blood. He's the future. We get that. Everybody knows and understands that. Maybe other than John Elway, but the point is that Peyton has the experience, and he proved that this weekend when the game was on the line, regardless of what his numbers looked as a whole. What did he do? He went out there and put up 3 straight scoring drives. So
I said it before.
It is what it is.
I was for them starting Brock Osweiler, but I wouldn't be against them going with Peyton. I think at this
point, you can't be against that money. You put the money on the line. This is who you wanted.
Like you said, he scored 3 straight touchdown drives when he kind of stepped in there after he got the groove going. Can't go. I'm not against them moving forward with Peyton Manning, at least for the rest of the season. Like you said, Brock Osweiler is probably the future.
After this season, you can do what you want.
The way New England limps into the playoffs, are they now are they just not dangerous? I mean, what's going on?
No, they're not. They're not. I'm jumping off that ship. New England isn't threatening whatsoever. Outside of Tom Brady, which clearly he can't carry his team any farther than he has. I'm sorry. That's how I feel at this point. We've hyped them up, and I've hyped them up, and we both have, about how great they are as an organization because they got Belichick, they got Brady. But at the end of the day, the past, I want to say 3 weeks, they haven't looked good at all. It's the same thing with the Packers, but we'll get to them. But right now, we're talking about the Patriots, and the Patriots haven't looked good, and they look mediocre, honestly. And to go into the postseason the way that they are is kind of scary because you want to have momentum. But right now, they have 0 momentum going to the postseason. 0. They should have. You can't beat Miami, really. And Ndamukong Suh he had his way with Brady in that offensive line.
The offensive line is very
Brady
bad.
got tore up.
So you're telling me that Kansas City, Houston, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, or Denver all have a pretty decent chance against New England?
I want to say at least. Well, I'd say 2 of the 4.
Pittsburgh and Denver.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't mind the Kansas City, but I mean, I won't doubt it per se.
Well, okay. And I like the AFC picture, and we'll get into it if you would like to expand this further. If you want to do predictions throughout the whole way, we'll talk about it. Anyways, the other number 1 seed who had a chance to lock it up came out and looked like they wanted to lock up the number 1 seed. Carolina.
That's the way you're supposed to do it.
Came out and just put the beat down on. On the flip side, Arizona did not.
No, that's kind of.
What did I tell you?
You told me that Carson Palmer, you don't trust him in big games.
This isn't his situation.
He didn't play horribly. It's just I think more so his defense didn't show up whatsoever against Seattle. Seattle just put up insane numbers.
How many points did they score?
Seattle?
No, Arizona.
Oh fuck.
Under 20, right?
I know Seattle had over 30.
Yeah, but still, I'm not saying you need to go out there and beat Seattle in a shootout because you can't expect that. But at the same time, he is what drives them. Everybody talks about quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he didn't. He showed up, and I'm not saying it was a terrible game, but You
Honestly,
point out that
I
Rivers
just
is
said
second in the league in passing yards, and in my rebuttal exactly was because he's always down. You know what I mean? So like I could look at the stats. The stats might not predict exactly how he played. It wasn't great. They didn't win. That was a big game.
As I just said with New England,
hasn't done in his whole career.
As I just said with New England, it doesn't look good going into the postseason, but they get a week off, they can get it together, and I still
Arizona's a strong team.
Absolutely.
They have one of the strongest.
I still believe in them,
rosters.
but to my point and to our point is we've been saying for weeks about Seattle, and we said don't get into the postseason, and they were one of my picks to get into the Super Bowl
as a 6 seed.
Dude,
could we see 2 6 seeds in the Super Bowl? Seattle, Pittsburgh.
No, maybe one. I don't see both. No way, absolutely no way. To go on the road and have both teams get the W's on the road to get to
I want to tell you the Super Bowl. 2 years ago was the first time in my lifetime. It was the first time I think all time, if I'm not mistaken, that 2 number 1 seeds went into the Super Bowl, and that was Denver, Seattle. Last year was the second time 2 number 1 seeds went into the Super Bowl. That was Seattle, New England. This year, the 2 number 1 seeds are Denver, Carolina.
Maybe one of them.
I would be super impressed if both made it. I'm with you. We'll get into that. But interesting, right? Something to watch for?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I don't know if... Oh, well, we'll just talk about it now. I don't think Denver is that team that could do that, but just look at what they're facing. They got Kansas City and either New England or Pittsburgh, and I would honestly take at least 2 out of the 3 to beat Denver. Carolina, I feel like outside of maybe...
Denver's a good team, but I think they have a harder time than Carolina will to get to the Super Bowl, just because Carolina's a more dominant team.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That goes without question. I don't think Denver... There's so much question in regards to their offense. Who knows? Are we going to get the Peyton Manning that drives down and gets, touchdowns like we did last week when he came in? Or are we going to get the Peyton Manning against Kansas City where he's throwing 4 picks? We don't know what we're going to get.
Before we get to the next portion of this show, because I'm really excited to get to the next portion of the show, you brought something to me that I want to talk about. You said coaches. About all these coaches getting fired.
It's been a lot. Thank God Chip Kelly was the first.
Before we get into anything else, can I at least say congratulations, Chuck Pagano, because he deserved to not get fired. That's ridiculous that he was even on the chopping block because, listen, I don't think he's the coach to ever win you a Super Bowl, and I get it. And as a franchise, if you really feel that way, you need to move on. But at the same time, his quarterback got hurt. He was he didn't bring all these players in. That was the GM who brought all these players in. He can't control that the quarterback got hurt and they were on their 3rd, 4th quarterback.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Do you know how I feel about that situation?
No.
Well, whereas I agree with you that his quarterback went down and that whole situation was
so he shouldn't get fired, right?
No, not at all.
There you go.
But people get on shit because I'm a Cowboys fan. People get on Jerry Jones. Can we just talk about how much of a bum Jim Irsay is?
Yeah, I agree.
He's a manipulator. He's a tool.
Probably the worst owner in the NFL.
Absolutely. If people want to say Jerry Jones is, but then look at a Jim
Irsay. His
franchise
has lucked into the 2 best quarterbacks coming out of college.
It's not even about that.
No, in 30 years, and he has 1 Super Bowl.
Okay, well that's an argument, but it's not. To me, it's not even about that. It's his games that he plays, which was less than 2-3 days ago. They were talking about Chuck Pagano. He's out. He's definitely out. And then 24 to 40
franchise. It's a super unstable franchise.
24 to 48 hours later. No, we're going to sign him for 4 years. You honestly think Chuck's going to stick around for 4 years? Because there's no way in hell. What coach do you think is going to stick around that's not named Tom Coughlin or Mike Tomlin that sticks around? Mike Belichick. Bill Belichick that sticks around for more than 4 years.
Best coaching job available right now.
Best coaching job available right now.
Yeah, in the NFL.
Let's see. It's not Philly. It's not New York. Who else is available? It's not San Francisco. It's not... Jesus Christ. We're going through teams. Tennessee. Is it Dallas? Because I don't think he's going to stick around.
Tennessee. You don't think Jason Garrett's going to stick around?
I don't think he should.
He will.
He will because of the money we gave him, but I don't think he should.
Tennessee?
Why? Because they got a quarterback? They got a future quarterback? I'm surprised Chip isn't going there. Supposedly he wants to go to San Francisco. What a tool bag. Even though Colin Kaepernick might go to Philly. Is that the trade?
No, because
is that the trade-off?
It wouldn't be a trade because Kaepernick
is that the trade-off?
Free agent.
So why does he want to go to San Francisco?
I don't know, because he likes the West Coast.
I don't understand it. Go back to fucking college. You know, I need to get this point in. You know, why is it that you don't me? Why is it that college coaches, they have to become NFL head coaches? Why can't they become coordinators? Why do they have to jump into this role that they're geniuses and they need to be head coaches in the NFL because they were great head coaches in college? Why couldn't Chip Kelly come in as an offensive coordinator in Philadelphia? Why not?
But
why not? Because of his ego? Is it that? It has to be that because I don't understand.
Okay, look at it this way.
Be a coordinator.
I think that New York's the best job. I asked you who the best job was, and this is going to go with your question.
Okay.
Nick Saban is probably who they want. Nick Saban is the head coach of Alabama. If Nick Saban wins the national championship on Monday, he will win his 4th national title in 7 years. Hold on.
Great. That translates how?
When he was in Miami, he didn't do well. But the reason he didn't do well, he says, is because he wanted Drew Brees. They did not want Drew Brees because he didn't pass his physical. He got Dante Culpepper.
So Eli Manning's the answer?
He said the only 2 teams he would come back for were the Colts, but he knew the Colts probably wouldn't fire their coach, or possibly the Giants because he likes that. Hold on. And he thinks he can move him out. A.J. McCarron was his quarterback in college. I think that's probably what his thought is. He can move Eli out in a year or 2, get McCarron, or somebody he's, going after right now. He can bring Lane Kiffin with him, his offensive coordinator, because he wants to go to the NFL. He entertained the San Francisco head coaching job last year, which obviously, good for him. He didn't work.
But dude, I don't get it. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Come in. I want to see more college coaches come in as coordinators. I'm just saying because to me it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't necessarily. When was the last time it truly translated? When it was like, damn it, that was a good decision. It doesn't. It's not frequent enough to say, damn it, let's keep doing this. And here we are in another conversation where they talk about the Notre Dame coach coming up. Why? What is the rush to?
He talked about it every year ever since he's been in Notre Dame.
Okay, why? Because he's so good. Yeah, Chip Kelly worked out. He was 10-6, and then they cut him, and he got rid of all the players.
Okay, but so outside, so who is your?
What's the best job in the NFL that's available? I don't know.
I do think the Giants because
they got Odell Beckham.
I'm an Eagles fan, so obviously I pick the Eagles, but.
No, stop it. Shut up. No.
Yes, because they have Odell Beckham, you can move Eli out in 2 years, like I said, and you can build a defense. A guy like Nick Saban, who's a very smart defensive coach, he can get that process going.
Stop talking about Nick Saban like it's going to happen.
But not even just him. I just think that it's the best coaching job available. Tennessee's not bad because you have Mariota, but at the same time, you need to run a certain style. Brian Kelly wouldn't be bad in Tennessee.
I'd probably rather, honestly, okay, to go back to your original question, I'd probably rather go with a young quarterback has potential than
Tennessee.
Right, than just a wide receiver.
Because you can build. Right. You just need to build an offensive line around him and then some weapons.
I'd rather go with Tennessee if you're asking me, between them and the Giants. Because the Giants, they have Eli, but how many more years has he got?
I agree. More jobs will be open probably in the next couple of days.
New Orleans?
I'd like to see him in Philadelphia, Sean Payton.
Of course you would. He should have went to Indianapolis, but then Jim Irsay said, just kidding, Chuck. Come on, I love you. We're bros. Here's a 4-year deal that you're going to last for 2 of that.
Pretty sure the Saints were like, no, we're not going to give you Sean Payton. Because you're a bad organization. Or Sean Payton said, I don't want to go work for him. One of the two. I'm pretty sure they cut it down. Anyways.
He has his choice, honestly.
Moving on to our year-end awards.
Interesting.
I have now, before we move on, further, I have a defensive rookie of the year, and then we'll move on to our rookie of the year, which is our offensive rookie of the year. My defensive rookie of the year is Marcus Peters of the Chiefs. He had 8 interceptions this year, by far most impressive. It's very hard. That's the hardest position to play, I think, in the NFL, outside of offensive line. And he excelled at it as a rookie. I'm super impressed. He gets it hands down for me. Offensive rookie of the year, which is probably the overall rookie of the year. Who you got?
I feel like they're going to go with Jameis, but I'm going to go with Todd Gurley. I have to. He was 3rd in rushing yards. He also had, what was he? He averaged 4.8 rushing yards. a game. He had over 1,000 yards rushing. I understand Jameis put up all those numbers, and he's going to get it because he's the quarterback, and that's a shame of it, is that they always go by default to the quarterback. But Todd Gurley, well, let's not poo-poo on what he's done. He's done phenomenal, and he was the third leading rusher in the league. I feel like he should get some recognition for it.
Cooper.
Go ahead, tell me why Jameis is going to get it, because that's your boy.
Cooper, Lockett, Cooper from Oakland, Lockett from Seattle, and Gurley all deserve. If any of these guys win the award, I will not be mad.
But you're going with Jameis because that's my boy.
Well,
other than that's your boy, you have no other reason.
I think as a season as a whole,
he's a quarterback. He's going to get it.
But no, because late in the season,
yeah, because he's going to get it.
No, late in the season he didn't play all that well. But up until like week 11, week 12, he played really well. And then you watch him, and he's gonna have to, rely on his instincts a little more. I think he's trying to force things, but I think it's because they were losing games that he felt like he needed to push them forward.
Honestly, he tried too much to be like Cam.
Right, and he needs
at the end of games.
Because he's going to end up being like that, but he needs to be more like Cam when Cam was younger. Cam had to learn how to use his arm before he used his legs. Right. Now Cam uses his legs in perfect ways. Cam had to use it kind of as a scrambler before. Jameis needs to go back to stop. They as a team need to stop giving him design runs. That will help.
Mm-hmm. So you're going Jameis?
Yeah, but as I said, any of those other three guys win, I'm not going to be angry at all. I think they all deserve it. I really do.
Let's not act like they're not going with the quarterback. This is the NFL. This is what they do.
Okay, Comeback Player of the Year award. If I'm basing it on stats, I think the clear-cut winner is
Carson Palmer. That's what I'm giving it to.
Completely agree. Mine, though,
4,600 passing yards, 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. It's kind of hard. He's in the race for the MVP. It's kind of hard to argue that.
Sometimes the NFL has to do the right thing, though, and just...
What's that?
Give Eric Berry the award. He just beat cancer. He's coming back. Yeah. This is their moment to shine. They get beat up so bad as not being the right people. Why not? He came back. He played a whole season. And I'm with you. Hey, hands down, right?
You can't argue it.
But as I said,
how do you argue that? As a human being, you can't argue
that. As I said to you, though, stats-wise, I'm totally cool. Man, Carson Palmer had an unbelievable season coming off of an injury again.
It's the same
I know I rag on him, but he's in the deserving to be involved.
It's the same thing as Rookie of the Year. They're going to go with Jameis and they're going to go with Barry. Why? Yeah. Because it's the right thing to do. Because it's the typical thing to do. And they're going to go with those two players. Well, I won't argue either or, but let's just call what it is. They're going to go with the obvious.
One that we're not going to argue from each other here. Who you got for Coach of the Year?
Oh, Rivera, absolutely.
Yeah, me too. Riverboat Ron.
Who else is in that conversation?
Bill O'Brien and Jay Gruden. I think they both led horrible teams, and I know it's just because they won bad divisions. But they both have horrible teams. Look at what Bill O'Brien had to do at quarterback this season until Brian Hoyer, before he got healthy, sat him, had to do rotation, hurt, Brian Hoyer back in it. Now he plays Kansas City. We'll see.
No, I mean, if anything,
and Jay Gruden. How about he sat there and he saw RG3 was not his guy. That he had a better player in Kirk Cousins, and he had the guts to go to his owner and say, "I don't care, fire me if this is what you're going to do, but I'm going to put the best player out there." And he did, and now they're in the playoffs. And I know it was in a bad division, but
Jay might be the argument, but
he manned up.
He might be the argument, but it's not even close. It's like Rivera is like here and
wins. He wins.
Whoever
the other two are right there.
Stop. There's no comparison. Next, we're going with Rivera.
Defense Player of the Year.
J.J. Watt.
I agree because
I don't have anybody else.
He gets double teamed on every play. He still led the league in sacks.
17.5 sacks, I believe it was. 17.5.
Khalil Mack is not far behind him, and I would put him in there. He's a second-year player out of Oakland. I love the way he plays. He had those 4 sacks in one game that kind of inflated his stats a little bit, but he's that good of a player that he can do things like that.
What about Josh Norman?
I agree with him. I was going to say him next.
He might be the corner of the year.
There
was such a reward, but like the best corner in the league right now.
If Revis didn't get hurt, that's the thing. Revis is probably the best corner, but honestly, you have to give it to Josh Norman because Revis is getting hurt and all that. Anyway, old man time takes over. Moving on, Josh Norman, the reason I probably won't give it to him, he has Luke Kuechly, man, and he's just as good.
Yeah, and the thing, we're about to get into another award, but I can't see 3 awards going to one team, honestly, so let's just go with J.J. Watt.
Offensive Player of the Year.
I'm going Carson Palmer. If he's not getting comeback player of the year, he absolutely has to get offensive. Who are you going to give it to? Tom Brady?
Antonio Brown. This man is on a fire tear.
I won't argue it. I won't argue.
He's so good. He's so good. Odell's a better wide receiver, but he's got Ben, man.
Fuck Odell in this.
Oh, get out of here! Odell's a better wide receiver. It doesn't. I don't care. He's wearing the same gloves. They're wearing the same gloves, and Odell's stats are better. And he came in 4 weeks later last year. Came in 4 weeks later last year and missed 2 games this year. Odell is better.
Are they in the playoffs now?
I give it to Antonio Brown as the offensive player of the year because he's that good. He deserves offensive player of the year. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Odell is a better wide receiver to me, but Antonio Brown. I'm not going to sit here and try to diminish what I picked him as offensive player of the year for a year for a reason. I mean.
I won't argue that. I mean, you can give it to him. I'll give it to Carson Palmer, but I agree with that. As long as it's not Odell Beckham, I'm cool with it.
Before we make our picks, I mean, we're both gonna yawn about this one. It's just the MVP, I guess. Who you picking?
Oh my God, we're so gonna clash on this one. Piece it. Can't do it. Really? Go ahead. Fight it.
I can't.
No. It is what it is. There's no. If he doesn't get it this year, when is he gonna get it?
How happy? How happy?
Listen to these. 35 touchdowns.
I might pop some champagne that night because,
35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 3,800 passing yards, 600 plus rushing yards, and he had 10 rushing touchdowns. 10 rushing touchdowns, 600 plus the 35 pass. That's what. Give it to him. Who are you gonna give it to?
Who are you
gonna give it to?
I was sitting in my friend Ryan
Osborne's
room. Sitting in my friend Ryan Osborne's room in week 2 of the NFL season of Cam's rookie year, and we're sitting there talking about it, and I said to him what he did in college and how he looked on a pro field in an NFL uniform. This man can just he can change the way that we look at scrambling quarterbacks. Not quarterbacks, because I don't think you're ever going to get away from the traditional Tom Brady, Big Ben, that kind of stuff.
No.
But he is a more athletic Big Ben. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're going to look at more guys like Jameis Winston in the sense of the way Cam Newton. Cam Newton is going to revolutionize a style of play, and he might be that guy that breaks through, and he might be that guy that
Russell has it done already.
Not in the sense that Cam is, not in these numbers. But Russell is now starting to put these numbers up. Look at Russell Wilson in the last 7-8 games. But Kirk Cousins is starting to put those kind of numbers up, not rushing yards.
What do we say? Seattle don't get in the playoffs. Seattle's been doing, but no.
Let me gloat for one more second, just because I love me some Cam Newton, and I've been saying I was on an island, and only me and my boy Ryan were on that island together. Everybody was against us. Cam Newton, I feel so good about it. I'm so happy for him. He needs to finish the fight though, because all of these words that we're talking about means nothing until you know what? You know what today marks? You know what today marks?
What's that?
You win or go home. You win or you go home.
Oh, I agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like this MVP is huge for Cam because honestly,
it's very big, and when we sit back on it, we relish in it. But look at Steph Curry last year. If he didn't win the championship, would anybody even respect that right now?
I don't know. I can't. I don't agree with that. But what I was getting at is that
people were respecting him before he won it.
And now they're saying he's going to win again, and his numbers are even better than what they were.
I agree.
But this is where I'm a hater because I don't know if Cam can do this again. And if he does, I want him to do it again. I hope he puts up similar or better numbers next year. Can he do it again? Sure.
Yeah,
do I think it's realistic? No. And that's why I think if any time...
You need to figure it out on the outside before you start
now's the time to
doing it again.
Now's the time to get the award and give it to him. Why not? Who are you going to give it to?
Nobody else is even in that.
We were talking about Rivera was here and the rest was here. There's Cam and who's next?
Separated himself over the last 2 weeks. Everybody's just
Carson.
No.
Roger. No. Who's in that conversation?
No. Adrian Peterson.
Fair enough.
Closest.
But come on now. There's a gap. There's too much of a gap. Give it to Cam. Congratulations, brother. Do your thing. I hope from a fan perspective, I hope he goes first and gets it all. Will he? I don't know. But get the MVP. I'm cool with it.
I love Cam. I love
Cam too. As much as I hate him.
As we all say. As everyone tells us we hate him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They haven't said that in several weeks since we fucking were right about Seattle.
So
I'm
Dwight
just saying.
Probably beat me this week. I went 9-7.
Really? That's a little better than I thought you went. I went 10-6. What is... Oh. This is going to be tight.
I went 150 and 105.
They're shitting me.
You went 149 and...
I went 149 and 106.
Okay.
One game, though? Damn.
Well...
Is that real life?
You have playoffs to redeem yourself.
I mean, do we want to titles in together, or we just want to separate them a bit? I'm cool with either or. We can say you won the regular season.
Okay.
By one game. That's a bitch, but I mean, it is what it is.
And then postseason starts now.
Let's do it.
All right. So, game 1, the 4:30 kickoff. Houston.
Saturday night.
Saturday. Yep. Houston.
Afternoon. Whatever the fuck it is.
Houston hosting Kansas City. Andy Reid gave up the huge lead last year to the Colts.
Is he calling his timeouts already?
Probably. Him and Doug Peterson are drawing up some good plays though together. Everyone's talking about all of a sudden.
He's calling his timeouts. Brandon Whedon's like, am I really here right now?
Yeah, well, Hoyer is going to start for the Texans,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, God. Why?
Because he was starting for him before he got hurt, and then Whedon came in to help
he
got hurt.
This is that shit we were talking about early in the year with Cleveland. Don't fucking jump ship. I mean, Brandon, granted, he only got like 1 win, but I mean, he got the win.
No, I think he got 2.
He got the 1 or 2 wins. Why not just keep going?
Okay, well, who are you taking in this Kansas City-Houston game right now?
What's that one song? I'm going to Kansas City.
I don't know.
Kansas City, here. You know that song?
Maybe.
It's old school Motown. Anyway,
like
I'm going Kansas City.
Well, you know who's been really hot since Jamar Charles has been out? The Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, they haven't lost since he's actually gotten hurt. Isn't that impressive? Since he tore his ACL and everybody said their season was over. Kansas City, I'm going to take them as well. I love Andy Reid. I'm not saying it's a fluke, but it's a tough AFC, and they're getting an easy opponent for Week 1.
I just like that Andy Reid I just like that Andy Reid is
succeeding
outside of Philadelphia. It makes me happy.
As
much as I hated on him for years because he was in Philadelphia, he's doing his thing. He
always
always did, honestly.
Yeah, I'm a huge Andy Reid fan. We all know this.
You should at this point, especially since you're all sitting on the sidelines.
We all know this is the biggest game of the weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
Put on Saturday night, 8:15, 8 o'clock, something like that, 8:30.
Prime time.
Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. A.J. McCarron starting.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
Because the last time I heard is that...
No, it's confirmed. They confirmed it today. A.J. McCarron is going to start.
That's
Andy Dalton has his cast off, but he's still not going to be able to go.
Okay, well, I'll just buy into that. But last time I heard is that earlier today is that they didn't know and they weren't ruined. He has to play. Come on now. He has to play. Regardless of how it's... Andy has to play at this rate. He has to. There's no question. You build up to this moment, and this is what we've been talking about all year, is that wait till Cincinnati gets to the postseason. Andy,
here we are in the postseason.
He's got to play. Play. Bro, you got to play. You can't... Your thumb? Really, bro? Get out there. I don't want to see you on a bike like... Jay Cutler on a bike talking about, I'm working on it. I might play, I might not.
Who are you taking?
Regardless of if he's playing or not, I'm going Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh as well.
Their offense is just unstoppable at this point.
The one thing I want to say about this game is going to be physical, and it's probably going to be a little cold, so it's going to be who wants to hit harder. And the Bengals need to show up around their quarterback and McCarron if they want to win this game. I think they have the talent to do it.
I would like to see them do it, but I don't think they're going to.
I just want to see a really good game, and I think we're going to get one between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Here's the situation. If Pittsburgh wins, then what are we saying about situations? It's time to blow it up because they finally felt all year we've been talking about let's just get to the postseason. If they get there and they lose again,
if McCarron starts, you can't because that's not
okay. So what happened? Right. So if Dalton plays, but then we say, oh well, he was hurt, his thumb hurt.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're thinking.
It's a mess.
I'll tell you that much.
I'll tell you what, I'm going Pittsburgh regardless, and it's a shame because Cincinnati, you had a hell of a run, and I won't be against you losing this, but honestly. Pittsburgh is just clicking at the wrong moment, dude. They snuck into the playoffs. They shouldn't have gotten it. But remember when the Giants a couple years ago, they snuck in and they got that Super Bowl?
Yep.
I want to say it's kind of similar to that.
Well,
except I think Pittsburgh's a little more dangerous offensively.
Another team that might sneak in who has a dangerous offense, but their defense is playing well since they cut Kerry Williams. Seattle taking on...
Kerry Will? Is that your boy? That's your buddy, right?
We can talk about him in a little bit. Seattle taking on Minnesota. Seattle blew Minnesota out in Minnesota a couple weeks ago. The one thing I want to say about this one, I'm not going to be fooled. I love Minnesota. I talked Minnesota up all year, just to put them down the last couple of weeks. And the last week they proved me wrong in Lambeau. You were right. I'm still taking Seattle.
Just for the record, I got a lot of those weird picks right the past 2 weeks.
And I still won by 1.
You right? You right, you got that one. Probably because I picked Dallas over Washington, because I'm a fuck. So who you going with?
For the 3rd game in a row, I'm taking the road team, Seattle over Minnesota.
It's interesting, because I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm sticking with, well, up until this point, I'm sticking with my preseason Super Bowl pick, which was Seattle. Seattle somehow made it into the postseason. And
what was your preseason pick?
Seattle and Indianapolis. Obviously, Indianapolis, you know.
I had a repeat of last year, and then...
In Seattle's peaking at the right moment. Russell Wilson, he's playing like an MVP. So yeah. I think on the road against Minnesota, he's going to do his thing. He's going to get done at least 1 week. This is the time to do it.
So...
Right now, we got 3 straight road games.
The reason I'm taking Seattle is because as good as Minnesota played well in Lambeau, I still think that just Seattle is just rolling. And they, as you said, their offense is playing strong. Yeah. Marshawn Lynch will be back, but they can't get too heavy on him because if they do, that's what was holding them back before. Russell Wilson, you kind of got to open it up. As I said, their defense is playing a lot better. Kerry Williams has been gone. But they've just been... This is the time of year their defense gets together and does it. And here we are in the postseason. Minnesota hasn't been there yet. It's going to be pretty cool for them. They're going to have a home game. But I still think Seattle is going to be okay on the road.
Absolutely.
Taking care of business. Teddy Bridgewater is good as he's going to have. If he has a big game, this could be Minnesota's because AP is going to show up. You know that. You're going to need Diggs. You're going to need Diggs to get open against a tough defense. It's going to be interesting. Minnesota has a shot, but I just think Seattle wins this.
It's going to be. It's one of the more intriguing matchups of the weekend for me. But I'm going with Russell, and he's playing like Big Ben. Honestly, he as far as like offensively, and he's putting up numbers, and he's just doing it all seemingly on his own without a great defense or without much of a running game. He's out there doing his thing, and Russell, hey, I'm not going against Minnesota as much as we both respect Minnesota. In this situation, I think he should walk away with this.
Green Bay. When they woke up.
They need to wake up.
Okay. They're, sitting there, they see the waiver wire, they see that Washington picked a player up. Now, you know how much talent is probably out there in Week 17, right? A ton, huh? Yeah, out there on the waiver wire that you could just pick up off the streets, right?
Definitely.
Guys by the name of Kerry Williams. Washington signed Kerry Williams. Green Bay has to just be licking their chops right now, right? Like anytime he's on the field, just throw at him.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's your floor. Before I say anything, go ahead. I know you have a lot to say about this man. This is your boy, right? This is Kerry Williams.
As Bomani Jones of ESPN said, I would rather go out there with 10 players and let somebody run around my secondary before I went out there with Kerry Williams this weekend.
How is his brother still in the league? Why does he have a job but like Tim Tebow doesn't? I can't be in the league.
You said it the best. He's holding the NFL hostage.
He is holding the NFL hostage. What sense does this make? Why is he robbed
He's
Philly.
Getting a paycheck. He's gonna get a paycheck.
Okay, he robbed Philly.
He's gonna get a paycheck. Sunday night, Monday, he'll have a paycheck.
Brother, congratulations. I'm not mad at him.
Win or lose.
He robbed $800,000.
Win or lose, this man gets a paycheck.
Say they lose for one game. $800,000 plus dollars.
And if they lose, it's probably because he got picked on.
Jesus, like really? I don't understand. Right? You held up Philly, you held up Seattle. They both said, "Get the fuck out." And now Washington, of course, Dan Snyder was like, "Yo, bro, I got cash for days. Yo, you want to make some money?" Kerry Williams was like, "Yeah, I'm a good corner. I got this all day. They can't beat me. Forget what I did in Philly, because clearly that was Chip Kelly. That was his system. I didn't fit the system. And Pete Carroll, he's a bum too. He's from college.
They got healthy.
Yo, you saw what they got healthy. Right, they got healthy. You saw what he did in the Super Bowl. No, I'm a good player. And Dan Snyder, because he's a bum.
I'd have ran the ball.
800,000.
He told Dan Snyder he'd have ran the ball in that situation. Dan Snyder said, "You're signed as our next cornerback.
You're a genius. Signed. Kerry, right here. You should have ran that ball."
On that reason and on that reason alone, I'm picking Green Bay to win. If Kerry Williams even touches the field, Washington has probably a negative chance, even though I was knocking Kirk Cousins for a very long time and he's played really well. And Green Bay's defense has been
even though Green Bay don't have it.
Green Bay's offense hasn't been able to play really well.
So, even though Green Bay doesn't have receivers to go up against Garrett Williams, Green Bay doesn't have anybody offensively.
Is there anybody with a heartbeat that is going to be wearing their jersey lined up against him? You can consider that a wide receiver and just have him go. You know what I'm saying?
So you tell me I should suit up right now?
I'm just saying you or I could be considered wide receivers.
I'll take $800,000
Sunday
Green Bay. You want to pay me $800,000?
I'm not saying that Washington can't pull this off because outside of Kerry Williams, the roster has been playing a little better, but their secondary isn't any good.
Nope.
And you said the biggest flaw for Green Bay is their wide receiving core. Well, you could run the ball a ton, plus you have Aaron Rodgers.
No, they can't run a ball. Stop it. Eddie Lacy has been doing it.
And if your defense can shut down Kirk Cousins, I'm just taking Green Bay because I have zero trust in Washington at the moment.
It's weird because
not in this situation, not yet.
You know, I feel like Washington could.
Jay Gruden, I told you before the season I was scared of Jay Gruden, and you laughed at me.
I'm still laughing.
He's in the playoffs, hosting a home game.
It was going to be one of those trash.
Having
games.
Kirk Cousins playing,
it was going to be one of those
really
trash
well.
Games. Right. Which is it him or is it Kirk Cousins? Who
no
knows?
team in the NFC East has won it back to back since like 2009. Since the Eagles did it.
And it's not going to happen next year either. But anyway, it's crazy because I feel like Washington could win this, and if they do, I'm not going to be shocked whatsoever. But who am I going with? Oh God, I really don't want to go with Green Bay. They don't have what do they have other than Aaron Rodgers, which hasn't proven to be anything lately?
So who are you taking?
God, I have one here that I have Green Bay.
It's a flip of a coin, isn't it?
It really is, and that's weird.
I'm taking.
Who'd have thought about that weeks ago?
I have all
weeks
four
ago.
road teams.
You said it earlier. Who'd have thought about it weeks ago?
2 weeks
Washington
ago, Washington would be hosting a home game against Green Bay, which that's not super crazy to think of the way the scenarios are working out, but that they would be favored and that most people would have a hard time with it, including ourselves.
I'm having a hell of a time with it.
Washington is favored in this game to win by
They are. That's so sickening. I don't feel like Green Bay can lose this.
I'm picking Green Bay. 4 road teams.
That's what I have one here, and I don't know. All right. I'm going with it. I'm going with it just to stay in the hunt with you. I'm going Green Bay as well.
Okay.
There's no rhyme or reason. I feel like Washington can get it, but
it should be a fun weekend of football.
That's what I got. I had 4 road teams.
I get it. Me too. I've had 4
It's
road
weird,
teams
and I feel like at least one of the home teams have to win.
It's football, man. After 17 weeks, I have no clue who's good and who's not. So
I feel like one of the two. At least 2 of the 4. Cincinnati could win at home. I feel like Washington could win at home. The other 2, it might be a wrap.
Well, that's his lock, so if you have some money on it, go for it.
We're going with all road teams here.
That was JD Sports. Thank you for watching. I'm Jared Hood. That's Dwight Garfield.
Peace out, people.